Hey guys, welcome to our post full moon energetics. We are very much still in the unfoldings of the energetics that happened over the full moon in Pisces that we had occur yesterday. If you missed that video, you're definitely going to want to check that out. But today, you guys, we are just this week, this full moon cycle on a quest for some very hidden knowledge, and it's still very much indicated in the energetics for today. Welcome back to my channel, everybody. Today is Monday, September 21st, 2021. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook for the day. And yay, you guys, I have moved. I'm in my new house. I've been very busy, but I'm very excited about it, and I am so excited to be bringing you your astrology of the day now from my new location. I haven't decided if this is where I'm going to shoot every time, but this is where I'm shooting today as I am getting established in my new house. So let's talk about for the energetics for today, you guys. We have a lot of Sabian symbols going on that are talking about some very specific themes, very much in reference to the full moon, and I'm going to talk about all of that. Today, we really only have two major aspects in effect, but both of these aspects, again, are sort of emphasizing the energetics of the full moon, and one of them is actually an energetic that was an exact effect for the full moon yesterday as well. So let's talk about it. Number one, we have the moon in Aries today, which means that the moon will be coming into an opposition with Mars, who, remember, is moving closer and closer into a conjunction with the sun. And with the moon coming into an opposition with Mars today in conjunction with the sun, this could definitely be bringing some very fiery emotions. It could have us feeling all fired up. And we really need to watch for aggression, being quick to attack, being overly aggressive, sort of feeling like our emotions are spurring us on to create some type of battle, some type of conflict. And most likely, you guys, this is going to be in regards to relationships, partnerships, possibly like contracts, finances as well, because Mars is in Libra right now, the sign of partnerships, coming into a conjunction with the sun. This generally brings like enhanced aggression, enhanced hostility, just like the very fiery energy increased and expanded as Mars comes into a conjunction of the sun. This is also a very strategic energy, and it a lot of times can lead to like actions that are happening more so like behind the scenes. We don't see the energy that's being put into things until it sort of like makes a big like explosion onto the scene, that type of energetic. And again, with the moon in opposition, the moon rules our emotions, how we're feeling, our internal environment. So this is making me think that whatever may have transpired over the full moon yesterday is definitely got us feeling feisty, got us all fired up, got us sort of just feeling emotionally motivated, very passionate about some things. And again, especially with the sun in a conjunction to Mars and that moving closer, we really just are going to want to watch the tendency to be very quick to anger, very impulsive, very aggressive, and do our best. It also can like really sort of highlight like depression and stuff like that, because depression a lot of times is like anger internalized. So we may be feeling a little bit more on like the negative spectrum of things today. But again, this also can be like just an enhanced motivation or an enhanced like passion towards something. And I do think that this is sort of like the consequence of what has been playing out with this big full moon that we just had. We are in a period right now where universe is doing so much to really help us metamorphosize, transform, and to evolve into like upgraded versions of ourselves. And in order to do that, we are having to let go and to release and to move on from a lot of, especially the belief systems that we've held in the past that have kept us sort of in like cycles and patterns of behavior based on the constructs, the belief constructs and the mental constructs that we've set up for ourselves. This period of time that we're in right now is really about breaking us out of these mental prisons that we have constructed for ourselves that have kept us in certain again, cycles, patterns, and just ways of being that have prevented us from being able to make these upgrades that universe is calling us to make right now, so that we can be essentially purified, transformed into something that is much more in alignment with our true authenticity, our unique originality, and the deepest desires that we truly hold inside of our heart and soul. That is what we're moving towards. And this full moon cycle is causing us to make these transformations, and in that process we're releasing, walking away, moving away from a lot of things. And today, with the moon in an opposition to Mars in a conjunction to the sun, this could definitely like just have us feeling again like all fired up about something. And I think that it is as a consequence of these full moon energetics that we had yesterday. The next thing that we have going on today, and again, this aspect is carrying over from the full moon yesterday, is that we still have Mercury in an exact trine to Jupiter. Remember, Mercury is getting ready to go retrograde. This is going to be happening very soon. Mercury is basically like slowing down almost to like a stop in the sky, and that is why this degree is holding over from yesterday. But it also means that we get a second day of this very expansive mental energy. And remember, because of the position of Mercury right now, aside from being in the exact trine to Jupiter, Mercury is also forming a square to Pluto. Right now, Mercury is at 24 degrees of Libra. And you guys, this is definitely all about gaining secret knowledge that expands our understanding. This aspect right here is putting us on a quest to discover hidden knowledge that really, through this process of learning the truth about some things, is going to support and help this transformational metamorphosis that we're going through, and also our ability to let go of some things. It's like we are going to be finding things out this cycle that are going to make our process of release significantly less difficult for us, and also really motivate us to make these transformations, to make these metamorphoses. And this is also indicated by the fact that Mars, for the full moon yesterday and still today, is in a very close trine to the north node and a sextile to the south node. The north node, this is the collective blueprint and path forward, the destiny, the way that universe wants us to move forward right now, in correspondence with the unfolding cosmic blueprint that is operating at every given moment in time. And so with Mars making aspect to the north node, we are actually being motivated to move forward down this brand new direction. We're having the strength, we're having the courage, and we're just being motivated to move down this much drastically different, fresh, new path. And simultaneously, we are also having the strength and the courage to release and to let go of the things that are no longer those constructs, those mental constructs, those belief systems that were doing what I had spoken about a few minutes ago, that really were holding us in this paradigm that was preventing us from making these upgrades to our mind, our soul, our spirit that universe is calling us towards right now. So with this trine still in effect today, it's telling us that this full moon energy is really carrying through, and we are on a quest for hidden knowledge that is really going to vastly expand our viewpoints, our understandings, our perceptions about things. And, you know, Mercury rules communication, it rules the mind, it rules speaking and thought, and also the media and social media and stuff like that. So with this Jupiter, Mercury, Pluto aspect in effect, I'm also expecting people to really be speaking their truth in regards to these things that they're finding out, these hidden truths that are being exposed, and these expansive understandings and viewpoints that are coming from them. I'm also expecting people to be being very vocal, very verbal, writing, speaking, communicating about what they're learning. And again, with Mars in conjunction to the moon today, this could be in a very passionate, a very fiery, potentially slightly aggressive way, okay? Just because of the way that the energies are playing out. So that's really what's going on today in terms of the aspects. Just the moon conjuncting Mars, or I mean the moon in opposition to Mars, while the sun is, or moving into a conjunction, the sun is moving into a conjunction with Mars, and then this ongoing trine from Mercury, who is stationing to both Jupiter, expanded knowledge, expanded viewpoint, inspired to speak about our truths in a big way, and also the square to Pluto, breaking through to what has been hidden, learning what's been hidden under the surface. And because this is the square, it can bring up tension, it can bring up conflict as we are discovering these deep truths. Now I want to talk, you guys, about the Sabian symbols for just a few minutes. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. And for those of you who don't know what the Sabian symbols are, is they are a group of energetics that represents each and every one of the 360 degrees of the zodiac. Whenever a planet is at a specific point, discharging a specific degree, making an aspect there, we can look at the symbol, and it really tells us more about the underlying cause and purpose of why this specific activation is happening at this point in time in the context of the grand unfolding cosmic blueprint that is perpetually always carrying us through time and space. So I always like to look at the Sabian symbols because they give us significantly more information about the nature of the aspect, why it's happening, and the purpose of it in terms of all like the collective process that we're undergoing at any point in time. So there's a lot of them today, actually, that are very much so emphasizing the entire theme of the full moon. It's like we had the full moon yesterday. It was very specific and very clear what that was about. Again, if you guys missed my full moon report, I definitely urge you to take a look at that because, it will give more looking at that and then seeing how the energetics are unfolding the day after the full moon, it just really gives even more clarity, as if we needed more clarity in regards to what God, universe, the divine is really trying to accomplish with these activations. So I'm actually going to read for you guys the Sabian symbols of all the personal planets today through Jupiter because they're all relevant and they're all pretty much speaking to the same concepts, which you will see are again about this very focused and diligent effort to get to the truth of something. So we have the sun today at 30 degrees of Virgo. This is our last day with the sun in Virgo. We will be entering Libra sun season tomorrow. But for the last day with the sun in Virgo, we have the sun at 30 Virgo, and that is having an urgent task to complete. A man doesn't look to any distractions. So we are very focused, diligently working on something, and we are not going to be distracted by anything at this point in time. 30 degrees of Pisces, where the Earth is. The Earth is always in a direct polar opposition to the sun. This is actually the longest Sabian symbol of all the Sabian symbols in the zodiac. This degree is a majestic rock formation resembling a face, is idealized by a boy who takes it as his ideal of greatness and as he grows up begins to look like it. So we are forming new ideals with this that we are sculpting our future versions of ourselves into. Then we have Mercury today, remember, still at 24 degrees of Libra, a third wing on the left side of a butterfly. And I'm really interpreting this symbology at this point in time as what we receive after we go through this process of metamorphosis like a butterfly. It's like we go from having only two options, two ways of seeing things, to sort of having this third option, this third path, this third viewpoint that is more in alignment with the upgrades that universe is asking us to make. We're going through this metamorphosis process. We're gaining all of this new information, and it's really opening a door for us that we never realized could have possibly existed up until this point. But because of the changes, the transformations, and the metamorphoses that we're going through, we are realizing that there actually is another way. And then we have Venus today at 13 degrees of Scorpio, an inventor performing a laboratory experiment. So this again is really talking about trying something new, something completely new, and seeing how it goes. And then we have Mars today at 5 degrees of Libra, a man teaching the true inner knowledge of the new world to his students. Remember, Mars right now is in a trine to the North Node and was in an exact trine to the North Node for the full moon yesterday. And I find this symbology very ironic, because that is what Mars in a trine to the North Node wants to do, is help us find the motivation to move down this new path into this new world. And Mars at this degree is specifically talking about a man teaching the true inner knowledge of this new world to his students. And that is what is going on with this full moon cycle as well, with the aspects from Mercury to Jupiter and Pluto gaining this new knowledge, this hidden knowledge, this ancient knowledge that is giving us a vastly expanded understanding about something. We are learning the truth that we're going to carry with us into the new world. And then we have Jupiter, you guys, 24 degrees of Aquarius, a man turning his back on his passions, teaches deep wisdom from his experience. So Jupiter in a trine to Mercury, the mind, thoughts, ideas, communication is also emphasizing this tremendous amount of wisdom that is gained through experiences, causing us to turn our back on something and walk away. They are all like very specifically talking about these same themes that were present at the full moon. Remember, the degree for where the sun was for the full moon that happened was a man gaining secret knowledge from an ancient scroll. And even if that Mercury, Pluto, Jupiter aspect hadn't been in effect, this cycle, because of the degree placement where it occurred, would still be about gaining knowledge, hidden knowledge from an ancient scroll. But when you add like literally the exact aspect into it, that is a physical manifestation of that particular degree, which would be Mercury in trine to Jupiter while square to Pluto, gaining ancient knowledge from gaining secret knowledge. Pluto rules anything secret knowledge. Mercury from an ancient scroll. This, and then with the Jupiter, like it expanding our viewpoint, expanding our mind, and causing us to really want to speak our truth about it. And then we have Jupiter at the degree of what is it? A man turning his back on his passions teaches deep wisdom from his experience. This, and then Mars at that degree today, a man teaching the true inner knowledge of the new world to his students. And then the sun today having an urgent task to complete. A man doesn't look to any distractions. It's really saying the exact same thing. We are on a quest for hidden knowledge this cycle, this week, next week. The Sabian symbols are talking about it. The energetic activations, the aspects themselves are talking about it. And that's just what's happening. That is just the name of the game right now. That is just what is going on. And it is leading us down this path of mind expansion that is going to help us make these transformations, go through this process of metamorphosis, release the things from the past paradigm, these mental constructs, these belief system constructs that prevented us from making these personal upgrades, these personal evolutions, these transformations, these metamorphoses, so that we can move forward into the age of Aquarius aligned with our truth, aligned with our authenticity, and aligned with what truly is in the nature of our heart and soul, so that we can bring experiences, relationships, connections, partnerships, everything into our lives that support that support our truth, that support our authenticity. And when we have that support, that is what really helps us to come into self-mastery. And that is what the age of Aquarius wants us, that's what it's pulling us towards: self-knowledge, self-mastery, self-empowerment, and living life in alignment across the board with what we need to be in touch with that, because that is what gives us our full power, which helps us to come into our full potential, which makes us much more effective, and therefore we can actually serve the whole and serve the greater good much more efficiently, much more effectively, in correspondence with universe's plan at this point in time, moving us into the age of Aquarius. So that is really what I have for today in terms of the energetics that are playing out. Again, we are really it's a continuation of this full moon energy. We are in secrets revealed territory. We are gaining hidden knowledge that is expanding our mind and helping us to transform and helping us to let go of things, and is actively moving us, Mars trine North Node, in the direction of this brand new future that is realigned with that true original authenticity that we hold inside. In terms of the tarot card of the day, you guys, to clarify and sort of like summarize the collective energy, I always ask God and universe to give me a message, give me a symbol to, like I said, clarify where the state of the collective in correspondence with the energetics on any given day. And today, when I did that, the card that came up was the Hermit in reverse, which is very corresponding to the moon opposing in Aries, ruled by Mars. Remember, we have the moon opposing Mars today, but the moon is also in Aries, ruled by Mars, opposing Mars, while Mars is in a conjunction to the sun. So this very much, I mean, the Hermit, this card, when it's upright, is about sort of like withdrawing and being a bit secluded and isolated to really like work on some things, gain some wisdom, analyze, introspect. But when it's reversed, this is like sort of stepping out back into the world, like not being in hermit mode, like coming out, being social, speaking your mind. And it reminds me a lot actually of Mars in Libra, and especially with the moon in opposition to Mars in Libra in conjunction to the sun, we are fired up and we're not like isolating ourselves or holding ourselves back with this energy. And why are we doing this? When I look at the back of the deck, it is the Eight of Swords, and we are doing this to free ourselves from any previous mental constraints that have held us back. We are, like, these cards also are literally saying the exact same thing that the aspects are saying and that the Sabian symbols are saying. It is all fitting together. We are ready to slice through the ropes that have been binding us mentally from being able to see that third path and start moving in that direction and go through this process of metamorphosis that is bringing us back into this place of true self-empowerment. And with the Hermit reversed, we're definitely like stepping out, taking action, you know, being a part of things, speaking our mind, not being reserved, not being withdrawn, not being like inside of ourselves. We are Mercury trine Jupiter. We are speaking our beliefs, we are speaking our truth, and we are doing so to liberate ourselves from what has been binding us, especially mentally, with it being the swords. So that is what I have for you guys today. The messaging is super clear across the board about what's going on. And we are just moving forward into this transformational process and learning things, freeing ourselves from past mental constructs, transforming and moving forward down an entirely new path that is much more in alignment with our intuition, our connection to spirit, our soul's calling, our soul's guidance, and also what is truly in that authentic alignment with the deepest desires of our heart. So that is what I have for you guys today. Thank you so, so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, you guys. Leave me comments. I absolutely love your comments. Soon, I promise, I'm going to be making some videos answering astrology questions. If you guys have any astrology questions, leave them in my comment section, and I am going to be making a few videos answering all different types of astrology questions. If you want to contact me, you can reach me at aubreystarsAstrology@gmail.com. I also have a Facebook page and a Facebook group, if you guys are interested, and please come back with me tomorrow so that we can continue watching the progress of how these energetics are unfolding according to the cosmic blueprint as we make our transition into the age of Aquarius. See you guys then. Have a wonderful day. Bye.